Ben McKee, Patrick Brown, Go Vols 24/7 here on campus with a no-huddle because we just got done talking to two new coaches for Tennessee. Spoke to William Inge, the new linebackers coach. We recorded a separate video, so go watch that video. Just recorded that one, so go watch that video. We also got to talk to new running backs coach, Darrell Sims. And first things first, I mean, the tradition of Tennessee stood out. Said that when he was growing up, Tennessee was running back U with Jamal Lewis, with Travis Henry.
Beating everybody up, right?
Beating everybody up, and because of that tradition, he always wanted to be at Tennessee. He's very envious of either playing or coaching at Tennessee one day.
Yeah, and he coached at Carson Newman, which is down the road in East Tennessee. He coached here for Western Carolina when they played Tennessee in 2015, and I asked him about that, and he said, I just remember we got run out of the stadium. But he also thought that, hey, maybe one day I might end up here. He's a guy that's worked his way up from Division II FCS. Was a Group of 5 school at East Carolina. Now he's been with Scott Satterfield at Louisville and Cincinnati the past 3 years. Produced some pretty good running backs, productive running backs. Cincinnati wasn't very good last season, but they were, I think, 6th nationally in rushing. So this is a guy, again, is a little bit younger, a lot of energy. But he seems down to earth and appreciative of the opportunity that he sees at Tennessee. He talked about the tradition here and talked about adding on to that tradition with the running backs that he's taken over.
Yeah, and he's really going to lean on Dylan Sampson, who Dylan Sampson is in line to do what Jalen Wright just did this season and then go get himself drafted. And the two already have a great relationship, or a relationship. I'm not going to speak and say they have a great relationship because I don't know their relationship. But he recruited him to Louisville when Darrell Sims was at Louisville. And according to Coach Sims, that prior relationship has helped his transition to Tennessee.
Yeah, and that's, we see that a lot in some of these coaching changes. Familiarity with guys that you recruited. A place like Louisville, they're going to recruit a lot of guys as well. And so, Dylan Sampson is one of those guys that he knows. And he's taken over a room that outside of Dylan Sampson really doesn't have much experience. And so I asked him about that, and he said that he likes that as a coach because you got guys that you can shape and mold into what you want them to be. And all these guys are young, whether it's, inexperienced guys like Cam Selton or Khalifa Keith that are just in their second year, or it's a guy like Peyton Lewis, the freshman who just got here. So that's what he's taken over, but he likes that he can sort of maybe start at square one or start at an early stage of those guys and build them up from there.
Yeah, and there's this perception that Tennessee doesn't run the ball as much as it throws the football.
They were first in the SEC in rushing last season.
They were, which should kill that narrative at this point, but I'm sure I doubt that will happen. But according to Coach Sims, everybody gets caught up with the tempo at the bare minimum, and there's a whole lot more that goes into the offense than just simply the tempo.
Yeah, and he talked about sort of as he's watching film, trying to know his guys. He's also kind of learning the offense too. So he's sort of an outsider. We've seen Josh Heupel. His only 2 offensive positions that have opened up have been in-house hires, guys that have been in the offense. Sims is a guy coming in from outside. He has to learn it. But he's also trying to use that time to learn his guys as well. And he's looking for guys that are well-rounded. And he said, regardless of the offense you play in as a running back, you've got to do your job, which means you've got to pass block. That's something he's emphasized. And you've got to be a guy that's got to be able to get tough runs. And sometimes he said that sometimes guys get maybe too caught up in the home run ability of running backs. But, it's something that he wants well-rounded guys that can do their job, and that's regardless of the offense you're playing in.
Yeah, we're going to try and get out of here real quick before this genius behind us ruins our video. Lastly, I don't think you're going to see a change in what Tennessee is looking for from a running back.
No, they're going to, they want guys that, again, you got to protect the passer. You got Nico Iamaleava in the backfield now. You got to keep him upright. You got to protect him. There's our guy. He just pulled out of the parking lot. So
nothing's changing with these running backs.
No. I mean, he's going to develop these guys and wants them to be well-rounded and be able to do a lot of different things. He talked about +2. That was a term we heard a lot from Jerry Mack, getting yards at the end of runs, playing behind your pads, playing physical. So that's what they want from these running backs, and Sims has got to keep that going.
Yeah, and sticking your face in the fan and pass protection as well. So busy morning over here on campus.
Morning in some cases.
Loud morning as well. It just means that Tennessee football is winning when you see the Chargers and Challengers go by over here on campus. So spring practice 2 weeks from today. We'll have plenty of coverage of it all over at Go Vols 24/7. He's Patrick Brown. I've been McKee.